All right, everybody, how are we doing? Today we're going to be going over Google Sheets, the beginning for our Shark Tank projects. For starters, just so you know, Google Sheets is located in the Google Apps section where my mouse is hovering over currently. You open that, and then you're looking for the option that says Sheets. So we're going to go ahead and open that up, and it'll take us to this opening screen. Now, don't be intimidated by mine, because I use Google Sheets quite often, but if you look at the top, it'll give us the opportunity to use a bunch of different templates pre-made for whatever our purpose is. If I was to hit the template gallery like I did, it'll give you a whole bunch of different ones, anything from education to personal use, for options for work, professionally, project management. For our purposes, though, we're going to start with a blank template. We're going to open that up. Now, what I'm going to do first is, like every other Google program, you're going to want to go ahead and title your project. I'm going to call this Shark Tank Budget. And I'm going to hit enter. And you'll notice it's going to save. And it'll say the last edit was a few seconds ago. Once you've got your project saved, I want you to go ahead and click on this star right here. When you click on it, it's going to highlight and turn yellow. And when you do that, it's going to put your project in a very special folder in your Google Drive called Starred. That way it's easy to find it. And you'll realize this is unique and this is very helpful as you get older because you're going to be working with a lot more different types of Google formatted files in the 7th grade, the 8th grade, 9, 10, 11, and 12, and then even into college. So it'll help you keep the more important documents within your view. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in a little bit so you guys can see what I'm working on here. Now, just as a refresher, and you guys learned about this in math, we've got a series of letters and numbers here. Now, think about it like the way you would think about the game Battleship. In this case, our letters are going to be our columns, meaning the information that goes top to bottom. And our numbers over here are going to be our rows, information that goes from left to right. Now, first and foremost, I want you guys to go ahead and label your columns. Now, because we're working on a budget, you're going to want to first have the name of your product or company, depending on what you created. And if you realize what you've written is too long for the box, if you hover between the two, it'll give you a little arrow. If you double click, it's going to resize to make sure it fits all the information. For your column B, we're going to label that as sell price. So how much you're going to sell it for, each individual one. Column C is going to be the cost to make. So how much it cost you to make one of those. And then the last one is going to be our profit in dollars. And we'll get into that more in a few minutes. Now, if you click on the top, any one of these letters, preferably if you click on the beginning of the end one, A or D, you're going to hold down the Shift key and you're going to hit the left arrow 4 times. I want you to go up here to where it says horizontal align, and I want you to change that to center align. It keeps everything looking nice and neat and everything is nice and centered. Now you have the option, of course, of making it bold and underlining it so it stands out nice. But that's entirely up to you. Now, let's say we're making, and I'm going to use a sample product here. Let's say we're making surfboards, and that's our product. To sell, we're going to charge an average of $499.99. To make it, we'll say it'll cost us about $125, and that leaves us with our profit in dollars. Now, it stands to reason that you'd be able to subtract these two numbers in your head, but we're going to be learning how to enter formulas into this. So for starters, I want you to hit the equal button. Now, what you learned in math class is there are 4 types of words: sum, difference, product, and quotient. The sum is when regards to adding two numbers, difference is subtraction, product is multiplication, and quotient is division. Now, this program will allow you to use those terms to get what you need. So what you're going to do is you're going to hit the word sum. And you'll notice when you do that, the word sum is going to appear here. It'll say sum in capital letters, sum of a series of numbers and or cells. You're going to go ahead and click on that. And you'll notice it's going to make everything capitalized, and it's going to give you this little open parenthesis right here. And then what you notice is here there's a little bracket. What it's waiting for is for you to put in the data that you need. Now remember, I want you to think about this like the game Battleship. When you try to sink your opponent's boats, you have to guess where on the board it's going to be, and that's a combination of letter and number. Instead of it being letters for the rows, we have numbers, and we've got letters for columns. So if we want to, let's say, subtract two numbers in the series of numbers that we have here, we are looking for, and if you click, we're looking to subtract 499.99, and you'll notice it highlights in orange. You're going to hit the minus sign, and then you're going to click on your other option here, which is our cost to make. If you hold down the Shift key and the letter 0, it's going to close your parentheses, and you'll notice both of these options now have dotted lines around them. That means you've closed the equation, and you're going to hit Enter. Now our profit is $374.99. So we know $499.99 minus 125 means for each one surfboard that we sell, our profit is $374.99. Now, what's unique about doing this as an equation, let's say down the line that this company, the more you make, the less it costs to make them. So let's say that cost drops down to $115. Because I've already built this equation into this particular area, whatever I change the number to, it's going to adjust the profit. And if I click once here and I look up here, you can see equals the sum of B2 minus C2. B2 being here, C2 being here. Each one of these are called cells. Each one of these rectangles are called cells. That's all for this first lesson. And I will get back to you once again.